I don't have like my own definition of digital art or what I consider, because it's a very broad field. But the way I approach it for myself and my work is that not the work, the pieces itself don't need to be digital. It's more like questioning how computers and internet is affecting society and what happened over the past 20, 30 years. So it could be like a drawing or a painting, but still it's touching these topics. I like these gestures where you give people something very concrete so they have an experience, and then like a further discussion or posing more questions. Well, when we talk about the digital revolution, if you still want to call it like that, that's like kind of still going on, or there's different approaches to it. Like one, you could tell like it happened and now it's unfolding, right? Like the computers are there, but now it's unfolding like really like on a very large scale, and we're in the middle of that. And I think this is what happens today. Like even if you go to like a commercial art fair, you see digital art anywhere, like screens, computers. It's like it's nothing which is like secret or very specific for a certain group anymore. You know, so it became very broad, I would say, and so I wouldn't put it so much in if we're in the start or beginning or end. It's going on anyway. So, and I would also put it in a way that it's broader, like this field's kind of mixing. It's not like you have this section and this section. Well, yeah, I studied architecture at the art school in Berlin in the mid-90s, and in that sense it was still a classic education. You draw on paper with a pencil. And I'm sure they still do that too, but when you work as an architect, it's all on computers, of course. And at the same time, I was very interested in what's going on with internet and the web. It just started in the mid-90s. So it had these parallels in my development. And I think also this is part why a lot of my work is taking place in public interventions, sculptures, the city as an audience to work in. For me, that comes very natural. And opposite to the white cube. I mean, you can't put anything in the white cube and it's art. And at the same time, sometimes I feel like I'm not so skilled in like putting it in the right angle, etc., etc. For me, it's important to make work I want to make, like also which is relevant to me, and I think relevant to have as part of a discussion, and to go out and to have interactions in public, like with an audience which is not coming to the place. And of course it's also a discussion about institutions then, and this is in arts like a long history about the art institution and also the battle with the art institutions, etc. You have the net art the artists who do everything online. You don't need the institution that much anymore. So I think it ties in these different fields, but at the same time, I think it's most important to get people together. Like, of course, to have an opening situation. Well, the typical advice would be, and this is also what I learned while teaching, and it's one of the general traps in working with media, is that often people are very seduced by, oh, look, I have this program, or this new device which can do this and that. I have motion tracking something, and you get all like wrapped up in like finding out how it works and get an expert in the program and stuff. And then people not start working on a concept or on a question, but just like start working with I want to use this tool, and oh, look what I can do with it. instead of like, oh, I want to pose a question, or here's this issue in Mexico City with, I don't know, a certain neighborhood, and let's make an artwork about it. So, you know, it's very typical in media art that artists or also students, that's where I saw it often, were wrapped in like a certain tech, and then you start with a tech and you put some topic on top. And it's like where other people also from visual art or fine art world are like, yeah, but where's the art? Like, and sometimes that's true. I mean, it's like when it's too technology based, and then in 2-4 years, suddenly that it's outdated technology. Also, the piece is outdated. Like, so that's a trap, and I think it's important to have a fine balance there. What's your concept? What do you want to work about? What's your question? What do I need to achieve this?